Alrighty, pregame thoughts, Padres and the Brewers game 3. Padres, obviously, they've taken the first 2 games of this series. There was offense. There's been some great moments already in this series from Jake Cronenworth, and he is back in the lineup tonight. He is hitting third. It's a nationally televised game. It's going to be on Fox, Big Fox. So that's why the start time is pushed up from 5:40 to 4:15. But the main thing going into this game is the absence of Luis Campusano, the absence of Fernando Tatis Jr., and the absence of Jurickson Profar. Luis Campusano, he is going on the IL, as Mike Schilt announced earlier today. Brett Sullivan is on his way to San Diego. He's obviously been with El Paso. And Campusano, for anyone that doesn't know, he's been dealing with bruising in that thumb because the other night he was catching Yuki Matsui and something went wrong there. So that's really the update there on Campy. He's been, I think, a little bit underwhelming offensively, and there's been some moments defensively where I wish is engaged the right word? Maybe that's the right word. I wish that he would do some things defensively this year that he didn't. And so I'm looking at this and I'm not like a Campy hater. I'm just looking at it like how big of an impact or how big of a loss is Luis Campusano to this Padres team? I just I'm just asking. I'm not saying that he stinks. He has over 30 runs driven in. His OPS isn't like 600. It's below 700, but it's not, you know, the worst in the league. But he is not the better defensive catcher between Higashioka and Campusano. I'm just trying to look at this from the positive side. Higashioka, I'd rather have him. If I had to pick one or the other, it's probably Higgy. And then you have Brett Sullivan come up, who is a lefty. And I'm not saying like he is a better hitter than Campy or anything like that, but he can play multiple spots, not just catcher, but he can play other spots in emergency situations as well. So that's not the biggest loss. I mean, where was Campy hitting in the lineup? Bottom third of the lineup anyway, right? Of course you want him healthy, but again, one or the other, I'm picking Higgy right now. Now the other updates were, I think, um, the bigger issues if they do become issues. Now Jurickson Profar, the good news there, that doesn't seem like that's a long term issue in terms of him having to go on the IL for a long period of time. He may need to. The Padres might decide like, hey, you keep dealing with this pain in your knee and we have to keep going off and on with you. Let's just put you on the IL for 10 days and let's just see if you can stop feeling the pain and it can get a little bit better over that 10-day stretch where, because remember, the Padres in the month of July, if there's going to be a time to do it, maybe it's July, where there's that All-Star break, right? So maybe they don't want Profar playing in the All-Star game, but that's something that's like one inning, maybe. They could tell the NL manager, hey, one inning, just starting, one inning, that's it, and then get him out of there. Or like one at bat, whatever. Because those managers have to listen to that. But I'm just thinking in the month of July, even if we don't think about the All-Star game, the Padres have a bunch of off days in the month of July. And so they could use that to their advantage and use a couple of those off days in a 10-day stretch. And so it's not like you're missing Profar for 10 games. You're missing him for like 7, 8 games because those off days still count because it's 10-day IL, not 10-game IL. So we'll see. But Profar, he's not going on the IL. He will be available off the bench today. That was the update, I believe, from Jeff Sanders. I want to give credit where it's due. I think it's from Jeff Sanders. Maybe Cassavell. Profar says here, left knee tendonitis. Says he's fine and available off the bench. He came out for a pinch runner in the 7th last night because Profar said, I knew I wasn't scoring on a base hit. Profar says he's learned how to manage the injury day to day. It isn't getting worse. So just something that he's going to have to manage. He'll be available. So getting back to like who said it, I'm trying to find it here on social media. I'm not finding it. So I think it was either Jeff Sanders or AJ Cassavell that put this out. If it wasn't, then I apologize, but he should be good to go. Will be in the lineup tomorrow, but not today. Just give it a day. If there's a big spot, and let's say it's Tyler Wade up at the plate, and they'd rather have Profar up at the plate late in the game, maybe you see Profar there, like runners in scoring position opportunity. But that's why he's not in the lineup today, and I am totally fine with that. Profar is super important to this team. Don't need him out there after he clearly is not feeling well with that knee. Don't need him out there, and you aggravate it here on June 22nd. Now, Fernando, there's not really an update there. I wish we had an update, but there's no real update. AJ Caswell says Tatis, he was receiving treatment and wasn't available to the media last night or today. Tatis is dealing with elbow/triceps bruise from the hit by pitch and quad tightness. Schultz says we're evaluating all of it. Unclear if he could pinch hit. I would imagine that he wouldn't pinch hit today. If you were watching yesterday, you could see that Tatis, he just clearly did not look like himself, even out there on the field running in right field, trying to track down balls. And then he gets hit by a pitch in the middle of that game, and it was like right on the elbow, and he wasn't wearing padding, which hopefully that will change, the next time he's up there at the plate, because why not wear it, right? If you have the opportunity to have it, why not wear it? He's one of the few people that I see in the game not wear it. So maybe that's going to change. But really no update. He's just banged up all over the place. What we know of is the quad, the right quad, and then the left arm, right? Because if you watch that, I went back because I was at the game yesterday, so I didn't get to see like the actual hit by pitch and exactly where it hit. You look back and it's like, yeah, that's right there, and you could see, if you hit it in the right spot, yeah, there's going to be some tingling there. Not going to be able to do a whole lot with that arm for a little bit. Now, that's like immediately, so I totally understood, why Tatis had to exit the game eventually there and Wade had to go in. I just wonder, obviously the question is, did it fracture something? And that's obviously the big news. If it did, I would think that we would know already, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to act like I know when these players do their imaging and they do these MRIs and all that. I would think that since they're a Major League Baseball team, it's available like whenever they need it, but that's a little bit in the weeds. I don't really know. But those are the updates that we have right now. So Campy going to the IL. Profar, Tatis, they're banged up. Profar seems like he's good. He'll play tomorrow. And then Tatis, that's more of a wait and see. But the lineup, here it is. Arise is leading off, playing first. Then Solano's DHing, Crony, Manny, Merrill, Peralta, Kim, Wade, Higgy. Obviously, you look at the bottom of the order there, and you just look at the outfield today in general with no Toddy and no Pro. And it's an outfield of Wade, Merrill, and Peralta. So it's not the A lineup, obviously, for the Padres, but the offense has looked pretty good these last couple of nights. So, and it's looked good these last, like 4 or 5 games? Well, I don't want to say all of those games because some of those were close walk-offs. But the offense, for the most part, it's looked good as of late. They're on a winning streak, right? 3-game winning streak, 5-game, I think, home game winning streak. So they can win. And pitching matchup today, 6.48 ERA guy against Randy Vasquez. And with Randy Vasquez, I mean, for me, it's kind of like out of measure. Let's hopefully we can get, 5 innings out of him. He's had some good starts or where it's been rocky at the beginning, but then he's settled in. So hopefully we can get one of those outings. And then Robert Suarez, he is someone that should be available to pitch today after not pitching the last couple of days. Estrada, I would not expect him to be available. He went 3 days in a row, and usually when someone goes 3 days in a row, they give that reliever 2 days off, not just one. So I would say no Estrada, but most of the other guys in the pen should be good to go. After Vasquez, maybe not Cosgrove. He threw over 20 pitches yesterday. Probably not. Kolek threw a lot of pitches too. So maybe this is going to be like a Johnny Brito game after Vasquez today. And then Suarez, hopefully to end it, in a save situation. But again, this game is on Fox for those that are going to be watching it. You can listen to it, obviously, on the radio, 97.3 The Fan, as always. And if you're going to the game, enjoy it. We'll see if the Padres can guarantee a series win today.